So if you're in the process of creating your business book, or you're wanting to put some content out there to support your book's marketing, then of course you'll be writing in some way, shape or form. It's very common to run into writer's block. So sometimes I think it's easy for people to feel this is somehow the end of the world a little bit, like, oh no, I've run out of things to say now, I'm not cut out for this. It's totally normal, and even the most experienced of writers run into writer's block. So here are 3 ways that you can get around it. The first is, this is one that people kind of seem to agree with or take on board, but then don't really do. It's actually to get outside, get into nature. A 20-minute walk can boost creativity levels significantly. It clears your mind. It allows you just to take in your surroundings and reconnect. And writing is a creative process. Even if you're writing about something that you consider to be fairly bland or logical, actually you do use mental energy thinking about what to say and how to say it. And so just something as simple as getting outside for 15-20 minutes can actually sort it right out. Now the second tip is something I call free writing. Free writing is where you write without any restrictions on yourself. So just get a clean piece of paper and a pen, clear your work environment of any distractions. Don't have music on, or if there's hustle and bustle, maybe put some headphones on to cancel out the background noise, and just write. Don't give yourself any time limit. It might be that you write for 30 seconds and then you've stopped, but it could be, and often I find when I do this, you're still going sort of 20 minutes later. And the point is to not even think about what you're writing about, which sounds really hard, but if you're kind of struggling for a starting point, start with right now in this moment. What can you see around you? What can you hear? Write that down, write down that noise. I can hear birds singing, I can hear traffic going past, and then ask yourself a question about that statement. And just write out from there. Don't worry about whether it makes sense. Don't worry about telling a story that fits a particular narrative. Just write thoughts that come into your head as they arrive, and just see what happens. And what this does, it unlocks your creative side, and it lets your mind go off in different directions. So it makes you more inquisitive, and it makes you more open to receiving and sharing information that when you have time restrictions and content topic restrictions, you may not consider. So this really kind of opens up your mind to be able to do a lot more. Now the third tip is mind mapping. And I hear people say, oh no, I tried mind mapping and I don't like it. I don't necessarily mean mind mapping in any formal capacity, but just write down the topic you want to explore in your blog or that chapter of your book in the middle of a blank page, and just draw, literally just like a spidergram sort of thing, just draw lines going off it, and then write around it all the topics that relate to that central topic, and then do the same with an outer ring, and the same, until you've essentially got a spider's web type thing of different ideas and topics that relate to your starting point. It might not be just single words, they might be questions, they might be statements. Try and get into the minds of your audience, the people you're targeting, to think about what's going to help them the most. So I hope that was helpful, and get in touch if you have any questions.